Now, if only you could swap out your battery, you'd be really set. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 best iPhone games of all time, Redux. Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're looking at some of the best games you can get for your iPhone. Note that we're only acknowledging good quality titles, not games that are simply popular. There is a difference. Number 10, Oceanhorn, Monster of Uncharted Seas. If you're looking for an adventure on the go, you might get an enjoyable experience from Oceanhorn. You'll explore different islands and dungeons filled with monsters as you journey to find your missing dad. For a mobile game, it boasts a beautiful world, and the controls aren't too shabby either. While it definitely looks like a blatant ripoff of The Legend of Zelda, don't judge it based on those merits alone. Once you dive deeper into the game, there's a lot to enjoy here. Number 9, Ridiculous Fishing. Just when you thought fishing games couldn't really be any fun, in comes Ridiculous Fishing, where you must first cast your line as deep as you possibly can. Once you catch a fish, your line begins to surface quickly, and you have to catch as many fish before you reach the top. Upon reaching the surface, though, you have to shoot all of the fish you caught in order to make money, which you can then send to acquire upgrades. Addictive? Yeah, super addictive. Ridiculous? Well, I mean, it earns its name. No one really likes to spend money on an app anymore, but the game is well worth the $3 price tag. Number 8, Device 6. Sometimes you don't need flashy visuals or complex controls to make a really good mobile game. Of all the text adventure games you can find in the App Store, Device 6 is definitely one of the best. As you progress through the story, you'll have to solve puzzles according to audio cues or different images. There might not be much there for those of you wanting more gameplay, but Device 6 tells an exceptional story full of mystery and suspense. On top of that, it boasts a wonderful soundtrack that makes the experience even more memorable. Number 7, Plants vs. Zombies. You can never go wrong with the classic Plants vs. Zombies. If you haven't gotten to try this wonderful title, players are tasked with placing plants in their yard to defend themselves from waves of zombies. You'll get to experience strategies with different plants, play mini-games, and maintain your own virtual garden for additional currency. Even though the game is almost a decade old, it still holds up today, and you'll find yourself not wanting to stop playing. Plants vs. Zombies showed the world that mobile gaming has the potential to be something great. Today you can download the game for free, albeit with ads, but that shouldn't affect your experience, unlike the sequel. Number 6, Infinity Blade 2. Of all the words we could use to describe a mobile game, intense, action-packed, and unique are often near the bottom of the list. In the case of Infinity Blade 2, though, those words are at the very top. Developed by Chair Entertainment and Epic Games, Infinity Blade 2 is an action RPG that boasts a unique combat system and an exciting narrative. On top of that, the visuals are absolutely stunning, almost as if you're playing on a console game. In a world where mobile gaming isn't really taken all that seriously, Infinity Blade 2 sets a prime example of the experiences that mobile games are able to deliver. Plus, hey, Troy Baker and Laura Bailey are in it.
So you do still live. Then you know what I am. You sought out my lineage.
Number 5, Bastion.
Good news is the emergency defenses still work. Bad news is they're aiming for the kid.
A little over a year after its launch, Bastion made the jump to iOS, and it did so with very few troubles. This indie title has been known to boast one of the most beautiful art styles in video games, in addition to a compelling narrative and a deep combat system. It might not be as challenging as other games, but Bastion still succeeds in delivering an enjoyable experience. Besides, with the game selling for $5 on the App Store and providing hours of content, this is a big deal.
An old ferry barge sends the kid on his way. The Bastion's real close now.
Number 4, Legend of Grimrock. With this being our third RPG on the list, it's safe to say there's a good amount of games within the genre that you can find. With the iOS version releasing 3 years after initial launch, Legend of Grimrock puts players in a grid-based dungeon where you'll have to solve puzzles and fight monsters while managing a small party of 1 to 4 characters. Inspired by RPG classics of the 90s, you can easily find yourself wanting to keep playing, whether it's to test your skill and raise the difficulty, or see how you fare in old school mode, where your map is taken away. Number 3, Space Invaders Infinity Gene. That's right, Space Invaders is still alive and kicking. While you might be thinking of the same slow-moving enemies from the old days, Infinity Gene modernizes the franchise in a crazy way. You'll start out playing the game in the classic Space Invaders style, moving side to side and shooting the incoming ships. However, as you start earning genes, the game begins to evolve and take on a different form, allowing you more movement and better weapons while throwing bigger enemies your way. It's perfect for anyone who is looking for a good arcade-like experience, or anyone who just, simply likes Space Invaders. Number 2, Monument Valley. Looking for a good puzzle game that doesn't cheat you out of moves or make you match 3 blocks? Monument Valley will give you a bit of a challenge and a lot of beautiful art. In each level, you must lead a princess through a series of structures built on optical illusions. Don't be intimidated by the tricky designs though. Once you figure out how the game works, you'll be able to solve its puzzles in just a few minutes. Monument Valley is also one of the few mobile games that manages to tell a compelling story. $4 might seem steep for a mobile game, but it's really worth it. And if you're craving more puzzles later, the sequel will definitely satisfy you. Before we reveal our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Number 1, Hearthstone. Four years later, and we're still playing Blizzard's wonderful card game. If you haven't tried this free Warcraft spin-off, it's a game that's easy to learn but difficult to master. 2 players take turns placing cards down that can summon minions to defend you or attack your opponent. Some cards can perform special abilities to put you at an advantage, and the first player whose health drops to 0 loses. It's a pretty basic card game that's incredibly fun to play, and the many Hearthstone tournaments that take place around the world can be just as exciting to watch.
Hearthstone, Heroes of Warcraft.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.